Hello. Well, people are talking about what happened on Monday Night Raw last night, since I'm filming this on Tuesday. Though I will go up on Thursday, so really it was 3 nights ago. But what happened, if you don't know, Vince McMahon was relieved of his duties, Triple H is now in charge, blah blah blah. I could review it, but nothing's changed since my last review of Monday Night Raw. I mean, we've still got people who are being pushed who don't deserve pushed, either because of in-ring performance that they just can't do or can't do anymore, or lack of mic skills or anything. I mean, people like Alberto Del Rio, who just, he's not over enough to be the top guy. I'd say he's over enough to be Intercontinental Champion. Kofi Kingston, who averages 4 botches a match and was never good on the mic. Rey Mysterio, who just doesn't have it anymore. He's just not good anymore. I mean, he's decent, but he's not good anymore. And Alex Riley, who God only knows how he made it into the championship. They're being pushed over for people who can wrestle still, like Kane. Kane is still a decent wrestler. He's not as good as he once was, but he's still good. And he's still in good shape. People like Justin Gabriel, Heath Slater. God, there's so many. The list just goes on and on. Cena's still the star. Yeah, he wasn't fired. Big fucking whoop. CM Punk is still gone. I mean, and the crowd is still deader than dead. I mean, I was watching WrestleMania 7 the other night, and there were bigger pops, bigger crowd reaction for people like Virgil, and people in the very low mid-card that I've never fucking heard of. A couple Japanese guys who I'd never heard of. I can't even remember who they wrestled, but they got a better crowd reaction than anybody on Raw is getting. So yes, it's still the same Raw. Let's talk about Vince McMahon being fired. Well, guess fucking what? He's not fired. Do you know how I know this? Well, I looked on WWE's corporate page and it says he's still the chairman and CEO. Do you know why it still says that? Because they're not stupid enough to fire McMahon. Their stock would drop like a rock. Especially now for Triple H, who has no proven experience. Their stock would plummet. I hope their stock plummets anyways, but I don't fucking like them. So no, Vince McMahon's still just going to be behind the scenes. He's just not going to be on TV. Which reminds me of the time he lost the match, Undertaker lost the match, Stone Cold wasn't supposed to be on TV. That lasted, what, 3 months? Or the time he was blown up in his limo and killed. Or the time the stage fell on him. Or the time he was in a coma. Do I need to go on to the other times? The fact is, they say he's not going to be on TV anymore, and then 3 months later he's back on TV. So it doesn't fucking matter. Hell, I wouldn't even say they'll do 3 months now. They'll probably do a month and he'll be back on TV as the boss again. Listen, John Cena wasn't fired. We all knew he wasn't going to get fired. Even if they did, hell, remember last time they fired him when he lost to the Nexus? He was gone. He wasn't even gone a week. Don't you remember when firing meant something? They were actually off TV, or they actually wouldn't wrestle anymore, they became announcers, something like that. Well, it doesn't mean anything anymore. So Vince will be back in 2 weeks. Now, if Vince was actually gone, I'd say the WWF would go to hell. Because, well, Vince is the WWF. He's done a lot of genius things. Then again, he's also done a lot of bullshit. Does anyone remember the Red Rooster? Does anyone remember Tugboat? Oh, I know. People remember Beaver Cleavage. Yes, the crowd was chanting, "Thank you, Vince," at the end. Thank him for what? He ruined professional wrestling in the 80s by making it 90% show, 10% in-ring. I mean, Bruno Sammartino hates his guts for that. Yeah, he made it mainstream, but because of him, we have the 90% show and the maybe 10% in-ring ability. We have people like fucking Kofi Kingston because of him. And you can look at all the people they've had with great in-ring ability that the WWF has squandered. Let's see, well, we got Dean Malenko first off. The guy was probably the best technical wrestler I've ever seen. And what happens? He was squandered in the WWF. At least in WCW, he got a decent title run. Let's see. Randy Savage was put down because of the Ultimate Warrior, who Vince created and couldn't wrestle worth a damn. Well, Randy Savage was, once again, a great wrestler. Then we got modern people like CM Punk, who was great in the ring and great on the mic, but was squandered because of God only knows what. Chavo Guerrero, who is a great in-ring competitor and should have been given at least a mid-card title. He probably could have been in the world title range, but instead they pushed Rey Mysterio. The fact of the matter is, the reason the WWF is crap right now is because of Vince McMahon, because he listens to the ass kissers instead of looking in the ring and seeing who does best. And that's why he's always done it. That's the reason Bret Hart was held down for close to 10 years when he could have been better earlier on. That's the reason the Macho Man was pushed down. That's the reason Shawn Michaels was pushed up. Shawn Michaels never fucking impressed me. Was he good in the ring? Yeah, he was pretty good in the ring. Was he good on the mic? Yeah, he was pretty good on the mic. But he just didn't have the look of somebody who could actually do damage to you. But that's why he cheated and stuff like that. That's the reason we got Triple H, who I fucking hate. I fucking hate Triple H. They had 20 people on the roster in the 90s who were better on the mic and in the ring than Triple H. None of them were given the title, but Triple H was. Triple H does not deserve to be a fucking legend. Triple H deserves to be a transitional champion. And I've always said that, and I always fucking will. I mean, you got The Miz now, and people are saying, well, he got to the top because of ass kissing. No, The Miz could have got to the top in any company. He could leave right now, go to TNA, and become TNA's top star in 2 or 3 years. Easily. Miz could be the next Ric Flair. He's got the charisma, and he's got the build where if he's cheating, you're going to be against him, but it's just something you'd expect from him. And remember, Ric Flair was not the biggest guy in the 80s. He was a bigger guy, but he was not the biggest guy. He was in shape, though. Unlike most of the wrestlers in the 80s, Ric Flair was in shape. But Vince McMahon is the reason Jake the Snake never held the world title. Was he deserving? Hell yeah, he was deserving. But he never got the world title. And there's so many others who should have got titles in the WWF. Mr. Kennedy should have gotten the world title. Great on the mic, great in the ring. Why didn't he get it? Because he once sucked Vince's dick. Jeff Hardy, Matt Hardy. There's so many others because of fucking Vince McMahon. We didn't get to see him as champion while they deserved to be champion. They could have easily been the future of the company. So, fuck you, Vince McMahon. Fuck you. I'm not thanking you. I'm not thanking you for ruining professional wrestling and making a backstage ass-kissing contest. If I wanted that, then if people wanted that, then WCW would still be in business. So no, I'm not thanking you. I'm saying fuck off, Vince McMahon. Go get raped in a shower somewhere. Yeah, true. Vince McMahon brought us Stone Cold Steve Austin. Oh, whoop-de-freaking-fucking-do. Stone Cold would have stayed in ECW, became a big star, and went back to WCW and stayed a big star. Because guess what? He was playing the Stone Cold character in ECW. It just wasn't called Stone Cold. Vince McMahon didn't do that. Vince McMahon made him the fucking ringmaster. Then he decided, well, this isn't working, so we're going to let him be Stone Cold again. He brought us The Rock, one of the greatest ass kissers in the history of wrestling. And guess what he did with The Rock when The Rock came in? He pushed him to new heights, and the fans fucking hated him. So guess what? The Rock turned heel because the creative team knew what they were fucking doing. Who else did Vince McMahon bring? Oh, Hulk Hogan, yeah. Hulk Hogan would have easily went to the NWA and WCW and became a big star, same as Ric Flair. When he left, AWA, I think is what he was in. He was in Minnesota before he came to WWF. And he was their top star. And he would have easily got noticed by another company, went to NWA, then went to WCW, and stayed a big star. The fact of the matter is, Vince didn't make anyone a big star who already wasn't on their way to be big star. And Vince pushing these big stars who couldn't wrestle ruined fucking wrestling. So fuck you again, Vince. And now people are going to go, well, then you'd rather watch TNA. Fuck TNA. I hate fucking TNA. Given the choice between WWF and TNA, guess what I'm choosing? A fucking lobotomy, because it's the only way I enjoy either of them. So fuck you, Vince McMahon, fuck you, WWF, fuck you, TNA, fuck you all. CM Punk, stay in Ring of Honor. Make some goddamn money, be the champion. You're still the true world champion. Now fuck off.